yeah, you. You broke my heart with lies. Now, baby, I can say that I bet you didn't think I would. I recovered. I moved on. Yeah, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh baby.
Are we live?
All right.
now?
We are live. I'm live. You're live. You're live. Tyler, 14-year-old Tyler in Miami. It's nice to see you.
Do you watch very many live streams?
No.
People
I don't
always do
even-
this.
I
They
don't
always
even
do
watch this.
I'm going to let you in on it. They do this. They say, all right, we're going to give it a couple minutes, let people jump in here. And then they're like, Bobby, I see you. All right. Oh, hi, guys.
Yeah, that's because there's actually
Hey.
somebody watching the screen. And
Usually they do it on their cell phones, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, hey, I'm going to just give it a, and they'll like eat. And they'll like chew gum.
It's
They're
super
just
casual.
They're just killing time on the live
Are these also the people who put the camera in front of their face and they talk when they're in the car?
Absolutely. I don't
The
know
car
that
talkers?
I don't know that the camera and the phone ever leaves their face. I think that's the truth.
I don't know how I
I'm
feel
not
about
hating
that.
on live streams. By
I
the
don't.
way.
I
love
don't know
a
how I
live stream.
feel about that.
I feel pretty good about. There was one guy. I'll tell you. There was one guy who was like, "All right, I'm gonna have a big salad." And this guy was like super professional. He was a photographer.
Okay.
And I was like, I want to know what that guy knows because his talent is amazing. His gear, blah blah blah.
You tune in.
You tune in, and he's like, like that. It
Okay.
was gross.
Croutons.
Yeah.
Everything.
But this is kind of the digital playground,
This is-
right?
this is our moment.
What are we doing?
That's great. Well, you're
are we
Tim.
doing?
You're Tim. I'm
am.
Mark.
Yeah.
Together, we run Fidelis Creative Agency.
Yeah, we do that. Yeah.
We've been doing it for a long time.
Long time.
And we have really great people, and one of whom is Hannah. She's
There's
thank
Hannah.
you.
Taking a picture of you.
Thank
you
you.
remember that time that you got Hannah to come out from behind
It was
the
great.
screen?
was
That
great.
was good times.
Maybe one more time we'll have that happen. All right, so this is the third week of the month, which means that we do the thing that we do where you jump on and I ask you a specific business related question.
Yeah. I'm
And-
excited to be here. I'm
Yeah.
gonna put that out there.
Thank you for
Yeah.
joining me. You know, we have such a long waiting list of people.
Is Tyler in Florida on yet?
For sure.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna kill
Our
some
one
time.
study.
Oh.
Our one study.
Tyler,
listener.
we see you.
All right. Here's the thing. Here's
All
what
right.
I want to know.
What do you want to know?
The same thing I want to know all the time, every time you're on, which is you hear business people say things.
People say some stuff.
Okay.
Keep it PG.
You stay calm and focused when these remarks are made.
Yeah, I try.
And then you think to yourself, I have to process through. They said these words,
Yeah.
but they meant these things.
I'll tell you, staying calm is, it's not that difficult, but often I'll leave a conversation and I'll think to myself, well, that was weird. That was a weird moment where that person asked me that.
And you should have jumped in and been a little more maybe catalytic, like, hey, what is that? What
you
is-
know, like there's a temptation to be a nice guy and be like, yeah, well, okay, you know, like this. But
Okay.
I have found that there are moments where I'm like, no, I need to kind of be a little bit punchier here, and
Yeah.
I don't know that people are that aware of themselves.
Right. I think people are by and large not always aware
Yeah.
and like
You know.
self-aware.
Yeah.
All right. So you had one of these yesterday.
Yeah, I got a doozy for you today.
All right. So remember everybody, it's
What do they
business
say?
people say these things, they mean this, and then Tim, you are going to actually say, and what they should be thinking is this. Okay,
right.
great.
So they say stuff, they say these things, and they say it so casually, and
you might even miss it.
you might miss it. There might be a lot to unpack. This is kind of part of the exercise of thinking through interactions after they've happened.
Oh yeah, I should have said this.
I should have said this.
Boy, that
You
would
ever
have
do
been
that?
amazing.
You ever do that where you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that would have been a perfect comeback?
Yeah, you know that I self-edit a lot, and sometimes I
Yeah.
feel like I may over-edit. And
I don't know that I edit like at all.
Mm-hmm.
I just might be that slow.
Oh, okay. All right, so
How many times do you edit?
5 times. If I'm upset, if I'm pissed, then I'm gonna go through 5 iterations before
filters?
before I open my mouth.
Wow. I don't think I got my first filter till I was 30.
Well, wait, we're not talking about like lifespan sequential things. We're just saying,
No, I'm saying like I don't think I got one even filled into my life, and that was after marriage. And I think mostly my wife was my filter for the first several years of
I
marriage.
think you may be right. I think she might have been.
All right, so here's my doozy. You
all
ready?
right, and I want it as, try and get it as verbatim in terms of what was said as you can.
Okay. Very casually talking about how's business.
What's going on?
I'm setting it up. Right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
how's business? Oh, it's going well, man. It's, we're doing the thing and you're doing the thing. And I'm
Yeah.
trying to keep it as generic as possible here.
Nice and light.
Yeah, nice and light. Lots of smiles. How you been? We should get coffee, that sort of
Yeah.
thing. And
Then?
then the guy, this guy, he drops this on me. He says, hey, I really need a logo. I really need a logo on a business card. I'm thinking you could get one of your interns. You should get an intern to get me a business card. That was as concise as I could get it. All right, so here's the thing about that. In hindsight, right? And what did I say? Right? What I said was, hey, give me your, since you don't have a business card, can you write your name on a Post-it note and your phone number and your email, and I'll give this to our account agent, and she'll get in touch with you, and we'll take care of you as a client. And he's like, yeah. Well, but just an intern, right? Just an intern. All right, so the first thing
That's what he said.
That's what he said. The first thing to be hyper aware of is the word just. Just is a huge red flag. I think I maybe have even said that on this live stream.
Mm-hmm.
Just is a dangerous word because just means we're about to make each other really unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
You have an expectation that you're trying to lower my expectation of the situation. And I'm going to do that, but then you're going to be unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
Or I take it really high and actually meet the needs of the job or whatever, and you're going to be unhappy because I'm going to charge you for it.
Right.
Right? So
the word just is meant to minimize the
impact.
impact. Okay.
Yeah. The importance.
The importance of, I just need X, Y, or Z.
Right.
So this is kind of like that thing where I
Yeah.
used to say, hey, hand me that piano.
Right. Hand me that piano. Hey, toss me that fridge.
Right.
Right? All right. So I wrote down, because I was ready for you.
Yeah.
I wrote down some different things that could possibly mean.
Oh, good. Go.
Is this helpful?
Yeah, it's
All right.
great. It's great.
I want this, but I don't want you to know that I want this.
Okay.
So it's a negotiation tool.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, oh, yeah, I don't, they think I'm going to negotiate like everything is
Sure.
a used car or something. I don't know. Which really means I don't want to pay, but I do want this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then it might be saying,
I have interest or I wouldn't have brought it up.
right.
Yeah.
And honestly, because the guy wrote his name on a Post-it note, I'm like, you have a need. You have a legitimate need.
Yeah.
You're not presenting very well
Yeah.
out there, right?
Yeah, we're transacting with a Post-it note.
They might be saying, I don't really value this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
If you don't value something, this is maybe I'm skipping ahead, but if you don't value something, then don't bring it up.
Yeah.
Or don't pay for it.
Right.
We don't want to solve things that are valueless.
Right.
All right. What they're really, really, really saying.
No, wait.
Oh.
So it's not enough. The guy couldn't just say, hey, I know this is your line of work. I know you probably have built-in processes, people. You have ways that you go about handling your business. What would it take for me to sit down and see if we couldn't get something ironed out? That would be a normal way to do this.
I think the impetus is I want to be cheap. I don't want to pay a lot.
Yeah,
I think
well,
that's
we got
the
that.
push, right? We get that.
That's signaled.
But I
sufficiently.
don't think maybe they put it together that the way that I get our rates market competitive is by being efficient.
Right.
By building processes, by trying to beat the market at its own game, right? So you're kind of in a way asking me to break the very thing that actually make this affordable, right? So really, I think it comes down to this. You ready?
Yep.
All right. I don't really want to look at my own discomfort.
My real problem.
My real problem is uncomfortable to even look at. And so
why do you think that? Why do you think that's what's really going on?
Because it is uncomfortable. We don't like to look at the parts of us that are broken or are out of line or deficient, right? And so it's easier to kind of just live with a problem and band-aid it with Post-its in this case until you actually have a real problem, and then it's so big and it's so problematic that you're willing to afford something, right?
Yeah, but if he's already minimizing it in his mind, we're set up for this is not going to be a great interaction. You're probably thinking, hey, if this is a tiny problem to you, then throw tiny money at it and go do a crowdsource thing, a Fiverr, a 99 Designs, whatever it is. So tiny problem, tiny budget, tiny outcome. It'll be all right. It'll be okay. Right.
All right, so here's what they need to know.
Yeah.
You're setting yourself up in that equation. You're setting yourself up to be really unhappy because let's say worst case scenario. Let's say I'm the kind of guy that would go and Fiverr this for you. Maybe I don't even have an intern, right? But I'm like, oh, he's so cheap. I'll just make it a thing and I'll figure it out and whatever.
Okay.
Well, it's still my reputation. It's still the quality of Fidelis Creative Agency that's on the line.
Right.
And so let's say this guy pays $5. Well, I'm going to deliver him a product. He's going to be like, "Oh, this looks like not very good. It doesn't look like a Fidelis product."
He may or may not recognize that. Yeah.
Right. And if that does happen, then he's going to come back and say, "Oh, can we change it? Can we do a thing?"
Yeah. We're going to get stuck in iteration.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, now you're nickel and diming me because I'm going to be like, "Well, it's another $20, whatever it is." And then he's going to be unhappy because he's going to be like, "All right, you're nickel and diming me. And I was supposed to be cheap through this thing, and now all of a sudden I've spent more money than I would have just had I come at it efficiently the first time."
And it's also true that just because somebody pays this tiny rate, it doesn't mean that they also adjust expectations.
Right.
Absolutely not. It's still like, I want to drive the Porsche at the Prius price.
Right.
Yeah.
So what I think that people should know is that if you just are honest with yourself about, I see a problem, it's worth this to fix it.
Yeah.
And let the people who know how to fix problems fix the problems. Don't negotiate everything. Just trust your team, like trust your vendors and bring them in as part of your people. It'll be efficient, it'll be fast, it'll be the right thing, the right time. There'll be systems built in for iterations, for instance. There'll be all sorts of really good stuff.
It's also true that people don't know the value of hours or expertise in these situations.
That's probably true.
So
absolutely,
they go, look, hang on. We have comments in the chat.
We have comments in the chat.
Holy crap. All right.
Has this ever happened?
Never.
It's because I'm on.
It's probably.
It's because I wore this vest today.
Well, hang on just a second. So
That's
it's
right.
also probably true that I totally lost my train of thought. Yeah, this thing.
They may not know the value of the hour or the time.
Value of the hour or the time, and it starts to become the do-me-a, right?
Yeah.
Okay, where now we're transitioned into do me a logo, do me a website, do me a blog.
The amount of variations on Dumia.
Yes,
is
it's
insane.
the worst. It's the indicator that we are not talking to the right person.
It is the commoditization of creativity. Is this new economy? It's the gig economy. It's all right. I have to raise $250,000. Do me a Facebook campaign.
Yeah, right.
I need.
No,
to,
you do it.
I need a business card.
Yeah.
Do me a business.
You
card.
go do it. Yeah.
Right. It's like.
Do you want to hire a professional brain or no? That's it. Okay. So what's our comment?
We have comments. I want to hear.
Brad Askew.
Oh gosh. All right.
Brad
An
Askew.
international comment, no less.
Come on.
And then Ryan Blair says, I'd agree with you, Tim. Love it when two bald guys are talking business.
Oh,
Wonderful best, Tim. Absolutely beautiful.
That's a little bit hurtful, Ryan. I'm not bald.
What did
Kidding, I'm totally bald.
What did Brad say?
He said, hey, Mark.
Oh, hey Brad.
Nice.
It's so nice to see you.
Look at that. I think I'm going to call that a following.
Yeah, that's a huge
You're an
win.
influencer now, man.
Yeah. Well, people say things. Okay. Well,
Love the comments.
What else?
Did
Yeah,
I
thank you.
get through the what do people say? What do they mean? And
Absolutely.
What should they know?
yeah, that's what they should know.
They should know that if problems are worth solving, there is solutions, right? I don't want to fix not problematic problems.
That's right. So a great follow-up question would be, how big is this problem for you?
Oh, it's a fantastic question.
So the guy who says, put an intern on it, you go, oh, you have a tiny problem. Great.
Yeah.
This is not a problem for you. Also, you just handed me a Post-it note. Maybe that's good enough solution for you.
Right.
No. And then they actually start unpacking. No, this actually is a big problem for me. Okay, so then that means you're prepared to actually put some sort of budget behind it.
Move on it, yeah.
Yeah. So it's, in some ways, you're really helping a business owner process through, how big of a problem and issue is it?
We got into this conversation yesterday with our team. We were in this meeting recently that it went for 2 hours, which was fine. It was slated that way. But the last half of it ended up being, we're not talking about marketing or creativity. We're talking about business.
Yeah.
Like you look at a problem and you start to unpack, oh, there's quite a bit of impact this will mean for the business.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, that's what we're talking about, is the business of it all.
Yep. That's great.
Well, Brad, it's good to see you, man.
So good.
One-sided.
So good to be seen by you, Brad. For sure. Means a
And
lot.
Tyler.
And Tyler in
Yeah,
Miami.
and Ryan.
14-year-old Tyler in
Come on.
Miami. And Ryan. Thank you, Ryan.
Do you have a...
Ryan asked a question.
Go.
What makes a professional logo better than my neighbor's after-hours side gig logo? He is cheap and it looks pretty. Professional branding is expensive and also looks pretty. What's
Yeah.
the difference?
Well,
That's a big question there, Ryan.
good design is supposed to solve actual problems related to communication. That's the difference. A pretty logo is just an artful scribble unless it's connected to a larger brand aim. So unless that thing accomplishes and addresses a mental gap or understanding gap in an audience, then all you've got is a fun scribble.
Mm-hmm. The difference between a check mark and the Nike swoosh. The Nike swoosh is attached to a mental placeholder, and I mean, put a value on that.
Yep.
But it's a mental placeholder of what the whole company represents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's what we're in the business of, is solving business problems, not embarrassment. I have a temporary need of a scribble.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. I hope that does it.
Do you have
Okay.
a sign off?
Thank you for joining us.
Oh, that's pretty good.
We'll be here next week, also live from the bunker. Although next week we won't be live, but we will release a pre-recorded one. Yeah.
Next week, Thursday, is Thanksgiving. Yes.
Yes.
Ooh.
All right.
Turkey
So
Day.
we'll be thankful for you guys. Take care.